Hi everyone, I'm Matt Crevin and welcome to Voice of the Box. Fans of pro sports certainly know how to tune in their favorite team on radio and television, and they know all about the key players and what's key to their team's success. But do they know about the people behind the scenes that are crucial in bringing these games to life? Well, get ready to discover the hidden jobs behind the scenes in NFL, right here on Voice of the Box. Okay, good morning and welcome to Voice of the Box. I have the pleasure of Jeremy Kahn joining me here this morning. Jeremy, instead of me telling my listeners and my viewers what you do here as part of the NFL game day operations, could you explain that to me?
I'm basically a jack of all trades. In the 8 years I've been doing this, I've done Red Hat, I've done PVI spotter, I've done official stats, I've done specialty stats, I've done booth runner, I've done interlink, I've done numerous things with the CBS, Fox, ESPN, and the NFL Network over the last 8 years.
Okay, so I'm going to take a quick step back just for a minute because you rattled off a lot of key jobs. Let me just step back and you can explain a little more detail. First of all, I think you said PVI spotter, which, as I understand that's what the viewers are going to see is a yellow line on the field. Is that accurate?
That is correct.
Tell us how that works and that little piece of it, just to start.
What I'm doing is I'm on the phone with New York. When I do it for CBS, I'm on the phone with New York and I'm telling them exactly where to put the yellow line. If the ball is on the right 18, the first down line will be at the right 28. So you got to put it exactly. If it's on the 17.5, you got to tell them that the ball's on the 17.5. They want it exactly pinpoint on that line.
So you're online with New York throughout the game, just telling them exactly where to put that line.
Exactly.
There was a lot of other jobs that are obviously very interesting. And we're one of those jobs that you've done working in the production trucks that are placed just outside of the stadium. Have you ever done that?
Yes, I've done that for in all the 8 years I've been doing it. I have been sitting in the trucks for at least one or two games a year. Because
that's really what we like to do here at Voice of the Box is bring those types of jobs to the front. Tell me what it's like in the production truck during an NFL game. I've been there once myself. You've been there a lot more. Tell me what that is, what that little piece is like.
A lot of four-letter words are being spilled by the producer or the director or somebody. If they don't get the right graphic in, they have to put the graphics in immediately. If Frank Gore runs for 55 yards on a touchdown, they want that graphic in there before Joe Nenne's line up for the extra point. They want that graphic in there, boom, boom, boom. They want it neat and right on the point.
Referee. So we're going to, as we get the referee checks here, so would you, safe to say that it's like when you leave the production truck after a game, it's almost as if you've run a marathon? Is it that intense, that stressful, or is it not quite that bad? Or worse?
You're also talking to someone who's run 8 marathons. So basically it is. I mean, it's like you're in there for 3 hours, sometimes more because the game does go into overtime. You're in there from like 12:45 until about 3:45, 4 o'clock. Sometimes if the game goes into overtime, you're there until about 4:15 or 4:30.
What's the biggest challenge of working in the production truck? Obviously you're live, you've got to, just as you mentioned, these people have to get everything that viewers at home see on TV has to be up. What are some of the biggest challenges of being in the production truck? And then the flip side of that is what's the biggest enjoyment you get out of that particular piece, working out there in the trucks?
Don't mess up. You want that graphic perfectly because you're showing that graphic to the entire United States of America. You're not showing just San Francisco, you're showing to people in Washington, in Philadelphia, in New York, all over the country.
Right. And what about, what gives you the biggest amount of pleasure of that particular role? Again, we're just talking about working just outside of the stadium in the TV compound. What gives you the biggest joy out of doing that?
This is the people you get to work with inside the trucks. You get to hear different things. You get to hear the announcers on talkback. You get to hear the producer. You get to hear the director. You get to hear the associate director. You get to hear all the different people and that you work with during this particular game.
No, we also at Voice of the Box like to kind of get more of an educational bent as well. So as we kind of wrap up, tell me how you first got your start in any number of these different roles. There had to have been someone you knew or you got involved somehow, some way, or maybe there was some official training that you got. Tell me a little bit about how you broke in and how long you've been doing these jobs also. I want to get that.
A friend of mine, when I moved back to San Francisco in 2001, a friend of mine I lived with in LA, I lived there in LA when I was at Cal State Northridge, he was our broadcaster and he had gone to school at USF. And he had been doing this up here while he was going to school at USF. And when he knew I wanted to get into some kind of business with the networks, so he said, here's your contacts, this is what you do, and it rattled off from there. My first game was here. I was supposed to be in the TV trucks. About a half hour, 40 minutes before the game, they go like, "You're doing official stats," and I'm like, "Excuse me, what is official stats? I don't know what that is. I've never been in a TV truck before. I've never been in a press box. I've never been in a pro press box before." They threw me up there. It was September 9th, 2001. And Matt, you were the in-house PA guy that day. I do remember your voice. That was the first time I'd ever heard Attention Media.
Sorry.
So that was a lot of fun, and then it just snowballed from there. I mean, I've done numerous games. I think in the last 8 years, I've been to almost every single 49er and every Raider game. I haven't missed a Raider home game since 2004. I've missed two 49er home games since 2002.
And as we truly wrap up, I said we're going to wrap up the previous question, but we're really going to wrap up now, is what pearls of wisdom or guidance would you give a college student that would love to learn how to break into the numerous roles there are on the production side of an NFL game? What kind of wisdom would you share?
Just talk to someone. Find someone that you know. Maybe someone knows so-and-so. It's like who you know. And you guys got to know person A has got to know person B. Person C's got to know person D. And then it snowballs from there.
Jeremy Conn, I appreciate you taking some time to Voice of the Box. And before we wrap up, I want to do a special thank you to my marquee camera person, Andy Lutsky, today. Thanks to him for his handiwork. Appreciate it. Thanks, Jeremy.